Greetings, polyphonic.org. Nick Finzer here, back for vlog number 19. And today I thought that I would talk a little bit about some contrasting roles that we all play in this field of music. And I thought it might open up an interesting discussion in maybe even in the comment section or just via email. And that is the role of all of us as musicians versus our roles as artists. And what does it take to be an artist versus what does it take to be a musician? What characteristics do we emphasize when we're trying to focus on our role as a musician, trying to fulfill a job that we're hired for? And what do we do when we are doing our own thing or doing what we think of as our art and what we would think of as us as an artist as. I've been thinking a lot about that just because, here in New York or anywhere really, you end up doing a lot of gigs that some do directly relate to your mission as an artist and some are there to help support you along the way. It's an interesting dichotomy I found between the two to find out, what you need to focus on in your practice, in your everyday, just to be able to make everything happen in terms of being able to play the kinds of gigs that you need to play in order to meet your basic needs, and then the kinds of things that you need to work on in order to fulfill the artistic vision that you have for your band or your project or the music that you want to write. So for me, as a trombonist, I've been doing a little bit of work on some shows, some Broadway shows, and also some wedding bands and things of that nature. That requires a certain amount of proficiency just on the instrument, just trying to fulfill the basic requirements of playing the instrument, which requires a daily upkeep. It requires practicing technique and fundamentals. But a lot of times on those kind of gigs, the person that hires you doesn't necessarily care that much about, what it is that you do for your own thing. And just for me, I find that it's important to be able to compartmentalize my role as a musician in those situations in order to do what I want to do in other situations. Because as an artist, we have a certain vision of the kind of music we want to create and the kinds of things that we need to practice to be able to do that kind of music may be different than what we have to do to fulfill our role as a musician for a hired performance. So I was wondering, what you all do to keep yourself prepared for your roles as a musician versus your roles as an artist. I certainly think that there's a large crossover in terms of the techniques required, the fundamentals required to perform any situation, and that it's my personal goal to be able to play in any situation and be successful, whether I'm hired as just a trombonist or I'm hired as me, Nick Finzer, regardless of the instrument that I play. So for me, I'm constantly striving to find a way to overcome the limitations of my instrument and overcome the expectations of my instrument to be able to contribute at a level equal to as everyone else that contributes to a musical project. So that that keeps me practicing all the time, just to be able to keep on working and be successful, and also to be able to really address the kinds of projects that I'd like to be involved in as a musician. So I'm wondering what you all do in your own personal journeys in music and how you find the interaction between the two sides of your musical being, the artistic side and the musician side, and what you all think of whether you like to compartmentalize these two things or if it's all one to you. I look forward to seeing you all next time here on the vlog. All right, take care.